Hi everybody, I'm going to be presenting on the Underground Railroad in Asia today. I know you can hate me because it's not a pre-modern history topic, but I found most interest in this topic, so it is what it is, and we're going to proceed with that. Okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, let's go with, figure out what is the Underground Railroad in Asia. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with American history. In America, there's the Underground Railroad for slaves. And that was used by slaves to get away from their owners, because obviously they want freedom, want to get away from their owners. And likewise, with North Korean citizens, they have also been using these series of different routes to network that they have to actually start the journey on their own, coming out of North Korea themselves, and they go into China typically. And from there, they have to find their way through different series of people who can help, and also different organizations, different entities, help them to get out of China and to go on with the rest of your journey. So, the route of escape is they first have to obviously get out of North Korea. So they take this river called the Tumen River. Obviously, this is North Korea, and also here, pull the Tumen River as well. So along this part over here. Anyways, so the Tumen River is the river located close to China, northern part of China, as well as bordering along with Russia, the Russia border. And that is the most safest part for refugees to get out because to try to go to the Yellow River, obviously the current's too strong for them to try and swim, so they'll drown. And once they reach China, they either try to seek refuge with an underground church run by Chinese, or also with other North Koreans who have defected. And they try to either reach there, or they reach embassy, so a Korean embassy in China, to also get protection, get political asylum. And from there, they can either go to South Korea, or they go to the United States, even as far as Pakistan, Europe, anywhere that will take them in. Okay, so a little history. Won't be going into depth too much, but a lot of it started with post-Korean War life. During that time, the best way to demonstrate what was happening during that time is through the Konan의 행군, the arduous march, also the North Korean famine. And it was from 1994 to 1998. That was a time where economically they were just struggling. They had barely any food to live on. There was a drought. There's a lot of things that were happening at the time. So obviously, when you're hungry, you want to get out. And also, there's two figures right here. I have No Keum-seok. No Keum-seok in 1953 was the first North Korean to actually ditch North Korea. He flew his aircraft, he was part of the Air Force, over the border to South Korea. And when he did that, he landed in, I think it was in Seoul, and he was actually given an award of a couple $100,000 because obviously he had valuable information. He was from North Korea, and obviously he belonged to the military. However, he refused to take that check, and so the check, as well as the plane that he donated, he basically gave to South Korea, is actually in the museum in Korea today. And so he was the first to actually officially to escape from North Korea. Also, we have Han Tang-yup. Han Tang-yup in 1997 also defected to South Korea. He was one of the creators, or actually he was the creator of the political ideology of Juche. And we'll cover that in a moment or so. But those two are very famous figures that a lot of Koreans are familiar with, and we will continue on from there. Okay. So with men and women and children, men have different, or they're subjugated to different types of labor. They're political prison camps called Pariso, as well as Siberian gulags. And so they are typically broadcasted as, oh yeah, it's very good to go to work in the gulag. So they really want to work hard, and they even have to bribe security in order to get to that point, because they have this idea in mind that if they work in the gulag, they can get more money than working back in their own homeland, which is really sad to say. Unfortunately, though, obviously with the whole entire situation, the men, don't really see that much difference in terms of their suffering and how much work and whatnot. But the women, they, as you can see on the right side, I have bride trafficking. And there's also a little map of the common areas in China near the North Korea border that are common spots for different people that traffic these women out of North Korea to sell them as brides to Chinese farmers that live in the countryside. Also, if you look at my left side, or my left to your right, there have the half Chinese, half North Korean children as well. A lot of them, obviously, because of North Korean mothers and Chinese fathers, are abandoned a lot because they have no political identity either in North Korea because they're not pure, as well as in China because they have no recognition by the government as a citizen. If you actually want that, it costs you a couple $100,000, much more in yuan, which is the Chinese currency. Okay, so looking at how this affects Koreans, we'll briefly go into that. So obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we have Juche, which is North Korean government's ideology of independence. So basically, no outside influence, and nothing comes out, nothing goes in. And they believe strongly, especially with the Kim family, the totalitarian regime, concept of one little member, one family has all the power to run a country. And obviously, they really emphasize obedience to what the family values and everything that's being taught by them. Otherwise, there's no unity, there's no national pride. But obviously, as we have mentioned, everybody's reviewed so far, there are people that want to get out of the country, obviously, because it's not helping them at all in any way. And concept of Juche is, it aims to have unification of the entire Korean peninsula. However, unlike South Korea's vision, like North Korean leaders, they want to do most likely by force. They'll most likely resort to that. They can't get the South to agree. And if you look on the right side, the Tower of the Juche idea also is a monument to the erection of Juche. And also there's a symbol in the statue, you can see those three tools held by that man over there. And it started with Kim Il-sung, went down to Kim Jong-il, his son, and now it's Kim Jong-un who is in charge. And so we have a Juche propaganda poster, as well as anti-American propaganda they run all the time, 24/7. So the South Korean government, its involvement, it has the Ministry of Unification, as you can see, and the statistics as of 2012 is about over 24,000 people that have escaped from the north into the south. Obviously, we're still counting because of the political screening, the interview process of all these people that keep coming out of the north. You have to really go through a lot of screening to make sure they're not sleeper agents in the north. And also, the South Korean government, they have erected Hana centers, or Hana One, and these were designed to help refugees to adjust to life in modern society, because obviously North Korean life has not prepared them for that, because everything was decided for them. And so there are several locations, and you can see on the map over here. Okay. So South Korean citizens, a lot of them, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with North Korean, South Korean relations. They typically have at least once a year in February, they have a day of unity where the families come visit the north, and the north comes to visit the south, where they're all unified. And they get to have this celebration of meeting up with each other. And also there is the community effort in South Korea with organizations such as Free North Korea Radio, as well as Radio Free Chosun. So basically they help educate all Koreans, but especially North Koreans, about the issues going on with their country, as well as current propaganda, current actions politically going on in the South to help with negotiations. So obviously I don't have much time left, but of course Koreans also in the United States, they also have living in North Korea and different organizations that help with the effort. And then also political action. 2004, unfortunately it took the United States to get that long to get involved. Basically, they have a law that allows them to, or allows the United States to get involved with refugee efforts. And you have Koreans in China, as I mentioned earlier, with half and half children, and also protesting in South Korea as well as in America against Chinese policy. So, the brief time that I have shared about this topic, obviously, again, I get to cover everything. I feel this is really important because this can affect relationships between both Koreas, but also with America and Korea, as well as China and Korea, which are the main players in everything that's going on in this topic. And it can mean a lot of economic development as well as national development for Korea as well. And definitely everyone can contribute to the effort through either humanitarian work as well as political involvement in any way. So I think this is a really interesting topic. And if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them later on.